Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and as you can see, we've gathered here again, and this time we're going to be going back to 1993. Yes, Lee would have only been 52. Can you believe it? It's a long time ago now, isn't it, Lee? And we're going to talk about The Last Action Hero, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. And let's see what Swansea has to say about this film. Stephen Price, what's your opinions? Live from Swansea, he represents the whole of Swansea now on his opinions on The Last Action Hero.
No, I don't represent Swansea at all.
Oh, it must be miscommunication.
Hero, I didn't see it when it first came out. I seen it briefly on video, but I seen it this afternoon, and it's so funny in parts. It's just one of his best, I think. Funny ones. Yeah, totally loved it. I'll tell you my favourite moments later on.
Yep, when we get to it, let's go to Alex and Susan since they're unmuted.
Okay, I'm gonna let Alex start because he can dissect this a lot.
Oh, right, okay.
Well, I remember, I do remember that some people have called this a very bad movie. I don't think so. I don't think it's a very bad movie. Now, if you're talking about a really well-written action movie, it's probably not. But if you're talking about an action movie that you just want to see action, and there's almost something happening in the background all the time, almost every scene. You've got people that are doing in-jokes of themselves. You've got Schwarzenegger doing a joke about Sylvester Stallone being the Terminator. You've got him meeting himself. I mean, it's just like, just like they said in the movie. It's like 20 dimensions at once. It's just great. And I also remember that somebody asked a lot of people that make fun of making movies that even the MST3K guys can't do it because there's too many jokes. It would just be like 500 jokes while you're watching the movie at the same time that they're talking. So it's so busy and it's so funny and there's so many dimensions going on that that they can't even make fun of it because the movie it'd be too much going on. You'd almost either be too awake or too asleep. It's just too much action, too many references, too many movie stars, just too many jokes going on. But I love it though because I love bad movies. So this is right on the edge of being a bad movie, and it's great. All these actors, most of them are doing almost the same thing if they're still alive. It's just great. You've got Sharon Stone, you've got Timothy Dalton, you've got Anthony Zerbe, you've got tributes to Die Hard, same guy that directed this movie. I mean, you've got references everywhere.
Okay, I didn't catch like half of what, or a third or an eighth of what Alex was seeing in the screen, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a romp. That kid, I mean, how he's alive at the end of the movie is just a mystery. It's like, God, he just went through, so much. Anyway, it was fun. It was great to see Ian McKellen. It was great to see the guy who played the T-1000 in the Terminator in his cop uniform, in a police uniform, and I thought it was fun seeing Arnold meet Arnold. I thought, that's just too cool, and I like the kid, and I like the fact that the kid has that New York thing happening, and then he's suddenly in Los Angeles, which is, way different. The East Coast and the West Coast of the United States are different worlds. I mean, it is 3,500 miles apart, but it's also a different world. So anyway, it's just different. It's like funny. Anyway, that's true too. So yeah, and I suppose that the baddie in this was amazing. I mean, he was really. I mean, there was like, uh, he caused this guy's death, and then he showed up to the funeral, and he made the guy into a bomb. It was just amazing. Like, he was a good baddie. Anyway, that's my piece about it. That's it.
Thank you, Susan. Let's go to Lee. See what Lee thinks.
Yeah, so when this came out in the movies, it didn't bomb, but it was a minor hit. It didn't. It wasn't as successful as they hoped. But for me, it's a fun movie, action movie, which parodies itself and parodies all of Schwarzenegger's roles and stuff like that. This is why I like Schwarzenegger, because he doesn't take himself seriously, as he never has done. He's got all his friends involved in this, all people who he's starred with, so as it's been mentioned, you know, the Terminator from Terminator 2. Also, Sharon Stone appeared in this. You know, who he starred with in Total Recall. There was, you know, even Danny DeVito voiced the animated cat. All in this. You say you've even got Tina Turner making a cameo as well. Yeah, it's and to me, it's a story of a action character not believing a kid that is in a movie. It's like a movie within a movie, which is you know, we have sat down and thought, let's do it this way. You know, add some imagination. And as for the villain of the piece, the two villains, you've got Anthony Quinn, a brilliant actor in his day, and also you've got Charles Dance as Benedict with the glass eye. So, brilliant villain in this. Yeah, I enjoyed it. As I say, I haven't seen this for must be 20 years now. It was good to sit down and watch it this week. So, good choice, whoever chose this one. Over to you, Alid.
Yeah, I think I chose it. Didn't I? I seem to recall I chose it. I know I wanted to do it for a while because I saw it for the first time only a few months ago, about two months ago. And I thought, yeah, this is really good. Because I've watched all of Arnie's other films, and some of them I like, some of them I don't like. But I think this is one of his best. I don't agree with Alex that it's a bad film. Alex said it was a bad, good movie. I don't think it is a bad movie. I like it. It's fun. What's wrong with it? I mean, it's, of course, not realistic or anything like that. It's not meant to be realistic. You know, it's a bit over the top, but that's what I like about it. The characters are good. The acting's good. The action is good. The story's fun. There's not much that I dislike about it. And I feel like you can sit throughout this film and have a good time. And it doesn't drag, which is one of the main problems that I have with some of the films that we do review, is that sometimes some of the films can drag, but this one doesn't at all. I mean, you're not meant to take it seriously because it's not meant to be serious. And I like the concept of it as well, which we'll get into favourite moments. Actually, might as well go into favourite moments now. Stephen, what were your favourite moments during the film?
Where the two cops going to do a drugs raid, and Arnold Schwarzenegger comes up, and when he runs out, he says a bomb flying through the air. I thought it was hilarious. And the guy on the tree then saying that he's only got 2 more days for retirement or something. Was that was my favorite moment. There was another one I can't remember it now. Well, anyway, two of the Schwarzenegger films I dislike is Raw Deal, which was really terrible, and
Oh, I don't think
Kindergarten Cop I didn't like.
I've not seen Raw Deal.
Yeah, that's not very good.
Trying to think if I've seen Kindergarten Cop. If I did, I don't think I liked it. So I'll agree with you. So that's it for favourite moments, yep.
Yeah.
Let's go to Alex and Susan.
I mean, he said, Steve said that he had one he didn't remember. I mean, most of this is actually my favorite parts, but as I mentioned, there's too many dimensions here. At one point, it's real. Another point, they confuse the movie because he's watching television. He's watching a movie on television, and then he shuts it off, and then you see him going to a movie theater and talking to the projectionist. So it's a bad movie in that respect. Not really bad, but corny in the sense that, they go from one movie example to another movie example to another. And that's fine. Oh, of course I like it. Hey, I mean, this is great. And it is always good when movies don't take themselves too seriously, because that could be bad too. But again, there's many different types of action movie. And of course, the scene that Steve is referring to reminds one of Lethal Weapon, when Danny Glover's character says, "Oh, I'm too old for this stuff." And of course, the toilet.
Yeah, he says the one you're on about, I think it's second Lethal Weapon, and he says, "Grab the cat," and the building comes down.
Right. So I mean that again, like we've said, they can make fun of conventions or tropes in all these movies, and there's a billion cop jokes that you can make. There's people walking around the station in leather, fetish leather. There's women cops working with cartoon cops and all these other, and then of course you have the black sergeant or captain yelling. I mean, talk about a bad movie trope. That's one of the main ones. As the captain is yelling, "I want your badge, and you're on this case, and you've gone too far." I mean, come on. I've seen it in like 500 movies. Come on. Even more than that. I mean, and there's one sequence where the steam is actually coming out of his ears. I'm like, what is this, a cartoon now? So, but I mean, it's funny. I mean, he knows Schwarzenegger got good direction, or he knew to sort of, not take it 100% seriously, or do, just like when they're in the video store and they have the clerk is in a pageant dress, and she is a B-movie actress, and she's done a lot of things. I think she even dated Joe Pesci at one point. And talk about another movie reference in real life. And then they make fun of that 555 number. So, I mean, it's reference after reference. It just goes on like 10, 20 dimensions. It's great. I mean, I love it. They have Sharon Stone in her Basic Instinct role in the white dress smoking. Come on. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? So if you watch the back of the screen, you see car accidents, you see car chases, you see all kinds of little tricks and little motifs and then of course when he's at the funeral, everybody has a gun. The nuns, everybody has an Uzi. And I'm like, what is this, Texas? What's going on here? So I mean, there's just, I mean, it's just hundreds, and then of course Stallone as the Terminator. I mean, come on. I mean, only the only other people that could have thought of that is the people from Airplane. I mean, that is hilarious. The only thing missing was Schwarzenegger making a Rocky joke. That was the only thing that was missing. I mean, it's just great. I mean, I almost wanted a joke from the Expendables, but it's not the same decade. So I kept watching the movie. They just kept reminding me of other movies. It kept reminding me of other references. I mean, even the daughter was in another, she was in 5 other B movies that are considered bad, corny or cheesy or not to be taken seriously or so bad it's good. So when I say bad movie, I'm covering like 5 or 6, points at the same time. But she was in Coyote Ugly in 2000. So, I mean, it's like, it just kept reminding me of hundreds of movies.
Yeah, well, I guess my favorite part was the funeral and the guy turned into a bomb. I also liked the golden ticket.
Oh yeah, the golden ticket.
Transporting
Willy Wonka, anybody?
Willy Wonka. Yeah, and yeah. So there's a bunch of parts that I really liked about it, and I love the police station. The police station looked like no police station I've ever seen. Not even the Los Angeles police station. And so anyway, yeah, fun.
So, Lee, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think Alex enjoyed the film?
For a
Because
bad
I'm
movie,
not
I
so
think
sure if he did. I don't think he didn't seem too happy to me.
Oh dear. Well, there's so much you could mention about this movie. I mean, there's a few things. It's like where they're in the movie. It's Jack Slater, his stunt double. Jack Slater's Arnie Schwarzenegger playing Jack Slater's the stunt double. Visually, it's not Arnie Schwarzenegger, and that thing was done on purpose, like they used to do in the movie. You always used to say, "Oh, that's a stuntman." You can see that. I think they visually did that, so for the movie. Also, the dead body at the funeral when he's carrying him on his back, you could see it was a dummy as well. Most probably done on purpose, of course. And they also took the mickey out of when people get covered in muck. A tissue on the face and they're clean again. Which, little things like that, they were poking fun at the movie industry. And,
yeah,
the
tar sticks
made me laugh.
Has he gone?
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
It would stick.
What?
I'm here. What are you on about? But yeah, there's so many things in this you could talk about. I mean, I do. Also, is it Tom Noonan as the Ripper? Brilliant actor. He always plays. He always seems to play characters like that. But, I mean, that was the thing as well. Charles Dance's character had a plan of bringing all these villains out of the movies into the real world. Because in the real world, the bad guy wins, which usually it's true. Yeah, it's a fun parody action movie. Yeah, and I was sad to see it end really, because for a fact he's never going to go back in the movies. Jack Slater's never going to come back out of the movies because the ticket's gone. There's no more magic in it, or is there? Oh, should we have a sequel? Who knows? Over to you, Alid.
No sequels and no remakes. Do not remake this with The Rock. I know The Rock is the new Arnie.
No.
No. I mean, have you seen?
No, he isn't.
That Rocky makes a film every 2 months, I think.
Can I just say, if you've seen Skyscraper, that is awful.
Is that like remaking Die Hard? Trying to remake Die Hard?
It's a mix of Die Hard and Tower Inferno.
Yeah.
But also, but have you seen the movie poster for Skyscraper?
Yeah, it looks just like Die Hard. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's trying to be Die Hard. Yeah, and it's crap.
Yeah. I mean, here's the other reality. I was just thinking there was another movie, I can't remember, I think it came out a year later, called The Player, and it's a bunch of studio executives and famous people, and they're coming up with like these, it's almost as bad as a reboot, and it's like, if something's done right, and you can't contribute anything else, leave it alone. That's why I liked it when Schwarzenegger said to the bad guy, "There will be no sequel for you." You don't need 10 billion reboots and sequels. And here's another thing I don't like. Not only are they not original or smart or even interesting, but they're the exact same name as the original movie. So now you're going to get confused. And there's actually supposed to be a Hollywood bureau that you pay over $8,000 to that's supposed to make sure that the movies that come out don't have the exact same name so you don't get confused. And they're terrible at their job. So that's an ironic reality. It's not even made up in any sense.
But you don't need another one of these anyway. This film is completely fine on its own.
Well, to be honest, unfortunately, no offense to Schwarzenegger, you don't need 7 versions of the Terminator. I looked it up on the internet. He's going to be in another Terminator movie. So
another one. I thought that had finished. I thought
they're doing it again. They're doing another version. But here's the thing: all you need is 3. You don't need 6.
The tickets?
Yeah, you don't need 6 or anything like that. But like I said, the original Terminator was good, but it was also good that it didn't constantly reference itself, and it was cult. And I think that's the other problem too, is that everybody's trying to be so clever and self-aware and reverential that it's like every movie's like getting to be like 8 versions bad of itself, that you might not even need people making fun of movies now because they're actually doing it without even trying. And the material's so bad that the joke isn't even good. You couldn't even make one now because it's so if you watch this movie, Last Action Hero, and The Player, that's what the other movie that I'm referencing is called, you'll say, yeah, basically you should stop watching movies after 1999. Just forget about it. There's no point. Because they're
I agree with that. Yeah,
because they're all just remakes. Yeah,
you wouldn't have Frozen.
No, but
yeah, you wouldn't have Frozen from stop.
Yeah, but they're not smart. Yeah, they're not smart. They're not intelligent. They don't have any. Because if you take movies as an art form, even if I'm taking it too seriously, it's not even good art. Now, if you want to see, like, I watch bad movies on purpose because I listen to joke writers make fun of them, and that's good. But the thing is, the movie is so bad and so unintelligent that now you have actually 40 people on YouTube making fun of the same movie. So it's like I could watch 40 different versions making fun of the same movie. And the problem is it's not just one.
That's what you spend your time doing.
No, I said I could. That's how bad the material is.
But the important thing is that Alex enjoys the movies that don't take themselves seriously, like you guys said.
I do. Yes, I don't like it when a film is being too serious,
especially bad ones.
Entertainment. It's entertainment, And this is an entertaining film, and I think this is one of Arnie's best. Personally, he did some dud ones, but this is definitely one of his best. I mean, the funeral scene's brilliant. The in-puns, like everybody's mentioned, of making fun of the film industry is brilliant. It's just a fun film. It's just a fun film. And you can't beat a fun film. Yeah, it's silly. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's over the top. But that's what it's meant to be. That is what it's meant to be. And I think if you sit down and watch this, you'll just have a good time. You don't need to take it seriously. Just have fun with it. That's it. I got the DVD somewhere. I can't find where I put it. Yeah.
That was the plug.
What was it?
That was, wasn't there the movie with...
Not many.
Now, the funny thing is, they did mention Die Hard, which we know has Bruce Willis. And it is the same director that directed this one. But I even remember in the 90s, people were getting this movie confused with The Last Boy Scout. And just as Alad referenced, if you look at the movie posters, they look very much the same. So it's very strange that, you know, in the supposed universe of the real world and of Hollywood, not only are they making fun, not only are they imitating themselves, whether they mean to or not, but now
was there
it's
a video game of this?
yeah, there was Nintendo.
Oh, right. I
Of
thought
course,
there was.
it it was the '90s, so it doesn't look as good as the ones they have now. But it wasn't a bad video.
Really? Oh, really?
No, like I have the Ghostbusters video game.
Lee's waving his finger around. He wants to say something. When Lee starts waggling that finger, it means something's coming.
I've just remembered an actor in this who they were parodying in this was F. Murray Abraham, who won an Oscar in Amadeus, and they keep saying he's the guy who killed Mozart. So they were saying it's the actor, but it's not. It's a fictional character. It's brilliant the way it's written. Yeah. Back to you. My finger stopped wagging now.
Yeah, but put your finger away and put your plug down. They all go to the same place in the end, folks. They all go to the same place. Right, let's move to final say and thought. Let's go with Stephen Price.
Excellent movie, one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's best. 10 out of 10.
Stephen, you had a fun 10 minutes. Let's go with Alex.
Wait a minute. There was another Arnold Schwarzenegger, which I didn't like, is Jingle All the Way.
Oh, no, I love that film. What are you on about?
Oh, it's terrible, man.
I love that. I used to love that when I was a kid. I used to love that film.
But this one did reference that, and it referenced Kindergarten Cop because he paired the cop guy with a young kid. So it was, there was, those two were referenced, even if you didn't like them.
Well, yeah, they had Cop and a Half as well.
Yeah.
And Alex, you like Jingle All the Way, don't you? Please tell me you do.
Barely.
Okay.
Oh, you've disappointed me now. You've upset me now, Alex.
So I liked it a lot. I'll give it an 8.
Jingle All the Way?
No, the last action hero. And I liked it.
What it was.
I liked it a lot, and I'll give it an 8.5. It was a good movie, but here's Alex, and he'll tell you more.
Yeah, I'll have to give this a 10, but it's for all the dimension. It's the dimension within the dimension within the
Wow.
It's lovely. Like I said, it really brings out the MST3K. I mean, they even said they couldn't make fun of the movie because it's too many jokes within jokes within jokes within jokes.
Sorry, I've got to go and lie down in a very dark room. I'll be back in about... Alex gave something a 10. We've been doing this so long. And Alex has never given higher than a 9. Apart from Frozen, I have to say, apart from Frozen, that has to be correct. Apart from Frozen, he's never given anything a 10. Wow. Lee.
Wow.
How does that make you feel?
The words can't explain it. Get them up and bucket. What I'll say is, this is just fun, parody, Arnie, action, jokes. I love it. It's a 9, but just because AC tune called Big Gun, which is a big thumbs up for me, that edges it up to a 10. So it's a 10 from me.
Wow, another 10. You see, I don't know. Shall I upset Alex and give it a really low score? I'm debating now. See, this is what I do with Susan. If Susan really likes something, I try to go for a very low score. I'm wondering if I should do the same with with Alex. No, you know what? I like it too much. It's going to get a 10 as well. It's fun. You know, I enjoy this film. You can watch this anytime and you'll have a good time. So, yeah, it's going to get a 10 from me. I'd like to thank everybody here for joining me. I'd like to thank you for watching. Tell us below what you made of The Last Action Hero if you've seen it. And any other Arnie film. Look after yourself. Take care. We will see you next time.